Hey, what's up guys? Jeremy here. Welcome back to my channel. A lot of people have been asking, is it a good time to refinance because they think interest rates are all at zero? However, that doesn't necessarily mean that mortgage rates are at zero. And to better explain that and give a little insight on the situation, I brought the man, Joey.chun. Joey, say hi.
Hello everyone.
If you guys don't know Joey, he was on one of my first YouTube videos where we talked about the different loans that someone can use if they're trying to buy a home. If you haven't watched that video, the link is down below in the description. In this video, we're going to explain what a refinance is, the two different types of refinances, why someone would want to refinance, and discuss why someone should or shouldn't refinance at this time. At the end of this video, I hope that you as the viewer can get a better understanding of what's been going on lately and maybe understand how the whole refinance situation works. And if you're a homeowner that's been thinking about refinancing, then I hope that this video can help you make a solid decision. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be asking Joey some questions that I feel like a lot of people have been thinking about. So stick around at the end to find out. Before you make a decision or do any refinancing, you should always consult with a professional. All right, let's start. Joey, can you please tell us what a refinance is?
Of course, a refinance.
Wait, sorry to cut you off, but I had to tell everyone to press the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
Smash that like button.
And subscribe. Sorry to interrupt, but as you were saying, Joey, what is a refinance?
Well, a refinance is when you have a current existing mortgage, you take out another mortgage, and you replace that mortgage, whether it be for the rate, the term. Let's say that you're looking at doing some renovations on your home and you have a good amount of equity in your property. You can do what's called a cash out refinance. You can take that equity out of the home and use it to fund your renovations.
I know there's two different types of refinances. You mentioned one, which is a cash out refinance. Could you mention the other type of refinance?
So the other one is a no cash out refinance, and that's pretty much replacing your current mortgage with another mortgage, just simply doing the rate and term. For example, let's just say Jeremy has a 5% interest rate, 30-year mortgage, and he gets the opportunity to refinance at a 3% interest rate, 30 years. It's a no-brainer at that point. He'd be saving a lot of money per month. And yeah, that's what a no cash out is. Also, another term that I've been hearing about is the ARM loan. Could you give us a little insight about what an ARM loan is? For sure. So an ARM, or it's called an adjustable rate mortgage, is a loan where there's an initial period of the interest rate being locked. So let's say we're talking about what's called a 5-1 ARM. The interest rate is set for 5 years. So let's say you have a 3% interest rate, it's 3% for the first 5 years. After that period, the one, it stands for the rate adjusting every year after that. So you're going to be paying that 3% interest rate for the first 5 years, but depending on how the market is performing at the time when it adjusts, the interest rate is going to change.
So I guess to reiterate, the first 5 years, the interest rate is locked. But after those 5 years, the interest rate is free to move around to whatever the market rate is at that time.
Yes.
So in a way, doing an ARM loan is kind of a gamble.
You do take a gamble because after that period is done, whatever the market is, that's what your interest rate is going to have to adjust to.
So now we're talking about refinancing. So what purpose or why would someone want to refinance?
The main thing is to save money, get a lower interest rate. Another reason why is, let's say you have a lot of equity in your home, but with the times and the hardships that especially with the virus going on right now, you have a lot of bills. Right now might be a good time to do a cash out refinance that we talked about earlier and consolidate your debt into one loan payment, at a lower interest rate. So it's almost not technically free money, but it's not like where you're using a credit card where the interest rate might be 20% and you can tie in all of those debts into your mortgage, which is at 3 to 4%.
And that's the beauty of real estate, right?
Right.
So you can use these different tactics and loans to take care of problems that you might have, but in better situations or better ways, rather, like what you said, using a cash out refinance versus a credit card.
Yeah, that's totally true. And a home, real estate, it's probably going to be one of, if not your biggest asset throughout your life, and you just have to know how to leverage that to your advantage.
For the people watching, when should someone refinance?
Everyone is in a different situation. It has to financially make sense. From what I've been seeing, clients have owned their homes for about a year, and they start to look at refinances if they locked in at an interest rate that was kind of high at the time. Say they didn't have perfect credit, or they didn't have enough credit history to give them that superb rating. or they're just in a better financial situation now after getting their mortgage, we might want to take a look after that 1 year period and see, oh, can we save you some money? But then again, everybody's different. The market is so unpredictable, but right now would be a good time to at least inquire about a refinance if you're even thinking about it.
So if you fit any of those criteria, then maybe you should start thinking about refinancing. If not, let's talk about when you shouldn't refinance.
Okay. When it's not a good time to refinance, if it doesn't make financial sense, and everyone is different again. If you're not saving money, if doing the transaction is going to save you pennies compared to what your cost is going to be, if your interest rate is going to be higher or the same, if you're going to be cutting down the terms from a 30-year to a 15-year, but the payments are going to be extremely difficult for you to make, it might not make sense for you to refinance. Everybody is different. If it doesn't make financial sense to put you in a better position, then I wouldn't do it.
You mentioned cost, so I think one of the things that people don't think about is they hear low rate, we should refinance. However, you have to consider your monthly savings. If your savings is only about $50 a month, but your closing cost is about, let's say, $10,000, then it wouldn't really make sense because that's $10,000 you have to pay up front in order to get the new rate. With $10,000 as an expense and $50 savings a month, it would take about 16 years in order to break even on that refinance. Okay, now that we've talked about all the refinances and whether you should or shouldn't do it, Joey, I got some questions for you.
Yep.
Now, before asking these questions, I do want to say that these are very general questions and everyone is different. Before you make a decision or do any refinancing, you should always consult with a professional. And if you're on Hawaii, you should consult with this guy. First question is, generally, what are the rates sitting at right now as of May 8th?
May 8th, today, 2020, everybody's in a different financial situation. Let's use this scenario. Say you own your own house, you're buying another property, purchasing it, and you have excellent credit scores. 800, you have 20% down, you're just a top-notch client. The rate available to you is probably somewhere in the low 3% range. But that could change tomorrow, so don't quote me on that.
So number two is, how much of a difference in interest rate should there be before I consider refinancing?
That's a great question, Jeremy. Well, like we talked about it too. Everybody's different.
Everyone's different.
I think a good benchmark would be about a 1% drop, or even 3/4%, so 0.75. But consult me or ask Jeremy for my number, and I can always look through it. That's what we're here for.
How much time should there be between the time I bought my place and between I consider refinancing?
That's another great question. So, say you're a regular first-time home buyer, conventional loan. I would say give it about a year. Build some equity in that home first before you even consider touching your equity. With the closing costs and whatnot, you can always finance that into your loan. But if you do a refinance and there's not enough equity, you're gonna have to pay for that cost out of pocket. But now, if you're a veteran and you use a VA loan, you could look at doing a refinance within 6 months to a year. I'd say would be okay. So everyone's different.
And our last question is, do you think someone should refinance into a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage?
Another really good question, and I've had inquiries about that a lot recently because in our minds, a 15-year mortgage means it's a less time to pay it off, so you save on interest.
Yeah.
But with the way the market has been, the interest rates are so close. It's not going to be a huge difference where it's going to be, making you a ton of more money. But with that 15-year mortgage, your payments are going to be a lot higher per month because it's amortized over a shorter period of time. With that 30-year mortgage, you have a longer time to pay it back, and like I said before, it gives you that option to make additional payments towards the principal and pay that mortgage off quicker, rather than being forced to pay a 15-year mortgage and those payments are high. Who knows what could happen in the future? We might be in this crazy pandemic for another year. So
basically, the 30-year option would be the safe bet.
Yes, I would say that.
All right, well, there you have it. Joey, thanks for joining me and giving everyone a little better insight of what's going on in this whole situation. I hope you guys watching got a better understanding of our current situation and the whole thing with the Federal Reserve cutting the interest rates down to zero. And if you're a homeowner and you're considering refinancing, I hope that this video gave you a better understanding of whether you should refinance or you shouldn't refinance during these times. If you're in Hawaii and you're considering refinancing or you need any advice or consultation, please contact Joey Joey. All of his info is down below in the description.
Refinancing?
Yeah.
That sounded good. I think I'm wearing the same shirt actually. I'm wearing the same shirt so you know it's me.
But it always has to make sense, right?
It has to make sense.
Always has to make sense.
Those things are making sense, right? When I'm saying
yeah.
Okay.
If you like ramble, like I can always just edit it. If you're a homeowner, I hope that if you're a homeowner and you're considering refinancing, I hope that this video gave you a better understanding of whether or not. And if you're a homeowner, I hope that if you're a homeowner and you're considering refinancing, I hope this video gave you a better understanding of whether or not you should.
Come on, you got it. It's going
okay.
good. You got it.
And if you're a homeowner considering refinancing, I hope that this video gave you a better understanding of whether or not you should refinance during these. Oh my God! Contact Joey. All of his info is down below in the description. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Thanks and enjoy.
Smash that like button. Stay tuned for the next one. Don't go anywhere. Sit there.